The cardboard box on Margaret's front porch was sealed shut with silver duct tape. 4 small breathing holes were punched into the lid, and a note taped to the side said only 4 words: "Please, they need each other." Margaret was 58, recently widowed, and had not opened her front door to anything unexpected in 11 months. But she opened that box, and what she saw the 2 kittens doing inside it, holding on to each other with a grip so tight the vet later said she had never witnessed anything like it in 23 years of practice, stopped Margaret cold on her own porch. What happened 7 years later, on a Tuesday morning in February at 5:47 a.m., proved that some bonds can never be explained, only protected. Margaret Ellis had lived alone in the same quiet house on Chestnut Lane for 11 months and 9 days. She counted every one of them. Her husband Peter had died in March of a heart attack that nobody, not even his own cardiologist, had seen coming. He had been 61. They had been married for 34 years. For 34 years, Margaret had been a 5th-grade school teacher. When Peter died, she retired within a month. She had not known how to walk back into a classroom full of noise and small hands when her own house had gone completely silent. It was a Saturday morning in early October. Margaret was on her second cup of coffee at 7:12 a.m. when she heard a sound on her porch that she could not identify. Not a knock, not a package, something softer, something alive. She opened the front door in her robe and found the box. It was not a large box, maybe 12 inches square, brown cardboard, heavily taped, placed carefully on her welcome mat as if somebody had not wanted to risk knocking it over. 4 small holes punched into the top for air and taped to the side in blue ballpoint pen on a torn piece of notebook paper, 4 words that made Margaret's throat close. Please, they need each other. Her hands shook as she knelt down and gently cut the tape with her kitchen scissors. She opened the lid slowly, and what she saw inside that box, she would remember every detail of for the rest of her life. 2 kittens, maybe 8 weeks old. One, a small gray and brown tabby with faint stripes and enormous amber eyes. The other, a ginger, bright orange, curled into the tabby's chest like he had been molded there. And they were holding each other, not lying near each other, not sleeping beside each other. The tabby had his front paw wrapped completely around the ginger's shoulder, pulling him in, his small chin resting on top of the ginger's head. The ginger had both of his tiny orange paws clutched to the tabby's chest fur. They were gripping each other so tightly that when Margaret gently tried to lift the ginger out first, she could not separate them without pulling the tabby up too. She carried them both inside together. She did not try to pry them apart again. Margaret drove them to the veterinary clinic on Oak Street that afternoon. The vet was a woman named Dr. Hannah Reyes, 23 years in practice. Dr. Reyes examined the kittens on the same metal table because they would not allow themselves to be separated. She weighed them together. She listened to their hearts while they were still wrapped around each other. And when she finally looked up at Margaret, her eyes were wet. "I have been doing this for 23 years, Dr. Reyes said quietly. I have never, not once, seen kittens this young refuse physical separation this completely. These 2 had survived something together, and whoever left them on your porch knew exactly what they were doing." Margaret named them Jasper and Pippin. Jasper, the tabby, because he looked like a small, wise old man in a tiny striped coat. Pippin, the ginger, because he was all warmth and brightness. That first night, Margaret made up a soft bed for them beside her own bed. By 2 a.m., she woke up to find both of them had climbed into her bed, curled against her shoulder, breathing in perfect unison. She did not move them. She cried for the first time in 11 months. I see you are still watching, but you have not hit that subscribe button yet. If this story has reached something in you, one tap means the world. What comes next is why I needed to tell it at all. The first few weeks, a routine built itself. Jasper and Pippin were never more than 6 feet apart. They ate from the same bowl at the same time. They slept pressed against each other on the same cushion. When Margaret vacuumed, they hid together under the same chair. When Margaret sat down with her book in the evenings, they climbed onto her lap at the same moment. Jasper on the left thigh, Pippin on the right, their small heads leaning in until they touched across her stomach. Margaret's sister Ruth called her in November and said, "You sound different. What happened?" Margaret laughed, a real laugh, the first one in almost a year. She said 2 kittens came in a box. Years passed. Jasper and Pippin grew up into the kind of cats people wrote about in books. Jasper was calm, steady, observant, the quiet brother. Pippin was brighter, more vocal, the one who greeted guests at the door, but their bond never loosened, not once. 7 years later, a neighbor took a photograph of them curled together on Margaret's couch, and it looked exactly like the first morning in the box. By then, Margaret was 65 years old. She had gone back to tutoring 3 afternoons a week. She had started painting again. She had even adopted a small garden of tomato plants in the backyard. Jasper and Pippin were everywhere in her life, and her life had color again. Some stories change the way you see loneliness forever. This is one of them. Then came that Tuesday morning in February. At 5:47 a.m., Margaret was asleep. Jasper and Pippin were in their usual spot, curled against her legs. And then, at the same exact moment, both cats sat up. Jasper climbed onto Margaret's chest. Pippin walked to her face and began pawing at her cheek, not playfully, urgently. Jasper pressed his full weight down on her sternum and let out a loud, distressed yowl that Margaret had never heard in 7 years. Margaret woke up confused and immediately realized something was very wrong. Her left arm was tingling badly. Her chest felt tight, heavy, compressed. Her jaw ached in a way that did not make sense. Peter's cardiologist had once, over dinner years before, described these exact symptoms at their kitchen table. Margaret had never forgotten a single word. She reached for her phone and called 911. The paramedics arrived 11 minutes later. A first responder named Elena later told Margaret in the ambulance that a blocked coronary artery caught in the first 40 minutes had a survival rate more than triple that of one caught at sunrise when somebody found the patient on the floor. Margaret had caught hers at 5:49. She was in the ER by 6:14. 2 hours later, she was in surgery. Jasper and Pippin were waiting at the front door when Margaret came home 4 days later. They had not eaten much. Ruth said they had sat together by the door the entire time. When Margaret walked in slowly, holding her chest, Jasper climbed her lap and Pippin climbed her shoulder. They stayed there for an hour without moving. 2 kittens in a taped cardboard box, a note that said 4 words, a widow who had stopped expecting anything good. 7 years and 1 February morning that proved whoever left those kittens at her door knew exactly who needed them. Jasper is 9 now. Pippin is 9. Margaret is 66. She still teaches 2 afternoons a week. She still keeps the original note laminated in the top drawer of her nightstand. 4 words. Please, they need each other. She now believes those words were always meant for all 3 of them. So, tell me honestly, do you think whoever left that box on Margaret's porch knew what she needed? Or was it just the kindest coincidence of her life? Let me know in the comments.